Hello everybody and welcome back. Today's video is sponsored by Barge Cement. Barge Cement, the best contact adhesive for your foam fabricating needs. Today I'm going to show you how to clean your critter gun after spraying rubber latex with it, plus other tool maintenance, right here on the Old Ted channel. Behold, the critter spray gun. I get a lot of requests, people ask me, how do you go about cleaning it after spraying with rubber latex? Well, I will show you. Okay, I've just got done spraying rubber latex. Now, the first thing I do is take this off the jar, set the jar aside. If there's any excess in it, you can go ahead and just dump this out into a cup or a jar. And then I take my top right here off. Now sometimes it gets really stuck on there, guys. You can always use a little crescent wrench. Don't use pliers because it has nice little flat heads on. You don't want to ruin it. So just put a little crescent wrench on here, loosen it up, unscrew it. And the reason I'm doing this is take this guy off completely, like so. I'm going to lay out my paper towel and I'm just going to blow the excess latex out of there, just like this. There, that's really important. What you guys want to shoot some air through here because it will dry solid. So I blow air flow through it and get the excess latex out. I got this little guy right here. And what I do is I like just for safety, I put it back on so I don't lose it because you guys are small and you can lose these. Now, what I do next, it's rubber latex. Set it down and let it dry for at least 8 hours. Okay guys, 8 hours has passed. And once again, what's so great about latex is now it's completely dry. And the thing is, it's easy to clean up when it's dry because it just peels right out. A little wet residue there, but nope, see? Still some at the bottom. Once again, just let that dry and wipe the rest of it out. Or you can use a paper towel. Now we move on to the shaft. What I do is I take the top off. And the latex on here, what you do is grab the stuff on the outside and it's just peel it off. You'll see it kind of get up here a little bit. That's the excess. Now what I do from the top right here is I get to have a little bit of a thin metal rod about the same diameter as this, a little bit smaller than the pipe. Now if you don't have a metal rod, you can, I like a coat hanger, but something straight so you can get in there. What I like to do too is I take a little bit of alcohol. Now alcohol, what that does, it lubricates the dried latex. So whatever is in there, if it sticks on you, it'll slide it out. So I take this down. Yep, if you guys see it coming out there? That is some old latex. Keep going back and forth, get the rest of that out. There you go. Now, the thing is that since it's dry, it's coagulated, it's easy to get out. And I take a pipe cleaner, which you guys can get at most craft stores. There's a good old-fashioned pipe cleaner, and I just feed it through there. And what that does, it grabs all the little loose bits and things you couldn't get out with the metal rod. So you just take that guy, go through. See, now it's nice and clean. So we've gotten that taken care of. Now too, there's sometimes residue and things around the little smell spring. You guys definitely just can take that off and remove it by hand. Now let's move on to the small copper piece right here. Now the little copper tip. This guy's got a very small hole in the top because it has a tendency to get clogged. What I like to do is take a Q-tip. I remove some of the batting off of it just to make it a little bit thinner, but still keep some of the cotton on it. And then what I'll just do is reach underneath, and kind of stick it in there and twist it back because sometimes the latex doesn't cure on the copper, it just gets kind of gummy. But I do that and get some of the excess goo off of there, so you can see that it's kind of taking that off. And you can gather it up right there. And then I just take a straight pin, reach in, and grab it and just peel this stuff out. Like so. Just kind of reach in there and just dig it out. And of course, by doing that, then I flip it over. And just go from the top to it. Because stuff is really muddy, just go and pull it all out with a little straight pin. The thing is, doing this when it's wet is a nightmare. That's why I always wait till this stuff dries. Okay, now after I've removed the majority of the latex, I have a little, once again, take the Q-tip with some of the batting, I take alcohol right on that and just kind of rub in there and clean this out really good. But once you do this, you can kind of look through it and make sure everything's out, because when spraying rubber latex, as you can see, this hole's very small. It doesn't take much to clog it. So periodically when you're spraying, always keep like a little needle standing by, so when something comes up in your pip, you can just take a straight pin, stick it in there and pull it out. All right, we have our jars clean. The spray nozzle is now clean. Put that guy back on. And my little copper top is clean as well. There we go. So guys, we are ready to spray again. Also, for you people out there, the critter gun, which is ultimate for spraying latex, the little spring adjustment top, you guys notice really quickly, when you adjust it, this is how you control the flow of your latex. So the air flowing over here, this is how you adjust your control over here. Once again, guys, while you're spraying and keep on spraying, I always try to kind of keep a little needle. So therefore, when something gets stuck in here and gets clogged, just reach in here and just pop it out. And sometimes a big chunk, if you can't get it through, go ahead and hang this guy on a hook. I always have a hook by my spray booth. Hang on a hook, take this off, clean it out, and put it back on. Because sometimes it just gets clogged. And once again, while you guys are spraying, there's a hole, an airflow on the top. And this sometimes will get clogged, and if it does, it'll stop the air from coming in. So this is very important. So when you guys keep spraying, remember, keep this guy clean, and also this hole has to remain open at all times. So always make sure that's clean, and no blockage on the airflow on that. All right, guys, that pretty much covers and how to clean your critter gun. Now the glue plot and how to clean it. Now normally my glue does not get this messy. I kind of let it build up, guys, to give you an example. This gets built up from using the glue. Matter of fact, Barge Cement, which is the glue that's sponsoring this video. What is, this is the way this is angled, it's called a vapor lock. And for it to work really well, you have to take off the excess stuff. And what I normally do is I go ahead, get a paper towel, wipe off the excess glue, set my brush down, and I take just go ahead and grab this stuff. And also you can use like a wood stick. Don't use anything metal because you might mar your surface, because this is coated with a particular polymer that doesn't let the glue stick to it once it dries, which is kind of beneficial, because once this does, you got to peel this off. Because when you get this glue on here, it doesn't let your lead get a good seal, so the glue has a tendency to dry out and get thick. So let's go ahead and get this all cleaned off. See, now my lid is clean. Drop it back on and get a good seal. Because once this does, it keeps it nice and keeps it sealed in there. Because if you let it build too much over time, this glue will get really thick. And sometimes it gets really thick and you don't want to work it. Now I've gotten requests of people asking me, how do you clean this glue pot? Well, what I do is I don't actually clean it. Because the barge cement you have in there, if it gets really thick and unmanageable, it's not bad. You just have to reanimate it by bringing and putting back in barge thinner. So if you're using barge with your glue pot, and if it starts to get too thick or it gets gunky in the bottom, it's unmanageable, or you left the lid off too long overnight and it gets dry, just add barge thinner to your glue and it reanimates it and brings it back to life. So if it gets too thick, add a little barge thinner. As a matter of fact, just like so. Take a little bit out. Little splash. And what I do, I just take a popsicle stick or any kind of stir stick you guys want to do, and you just get in there and knead up in the bottom, because that stuff dries in the bottom. So what we do is let that barge thinner do its work. Get in there, working around, get that stuff and bring it back to the creaminess that you like. And that's how you maintain your glue pot. Barge cement in a plastic squeeze applicator bottle. Great thing to have in your cosplay repair kit. You can get these bottles at most craft stores. The great thing about it is it doesn't smell up the room, no fuss, no muss. Squirt a little bit out. Rub your pieces together. let it dry, apply, and boom, you're good to go. So once again, great to have when you guys are out traveling and working in cosplay. And of course, the other great foam tool is a Sharpie. If you're thinking, what can I do to improve that, Ted? Well, you can. Sharpie is great. But what happens sometimes over time, they get dried out. And when they do, when you throw them out, don't throw out the cap, keep your caps. Because let's say you're working on a job with a brand new Sharpie, and of course, I've done it many times, you lose it. You're like, oh my gosh, I have a perfectly good Sharpie, it's going to dry out. But no, you have old caps you kept to save the new Sharpie. A little trick I've learned because I've lost a lot of caps over the years. The silver Sharpie. A lot of people like using this when you're working with black foam, but I find the tip gets dull quickly and the silver doesn't last very long and it kind of peters out. What I would recommend is using a red Sharpie when working with black foam. It lasts longer and the sharp lines are sharper, and all you do is you work on a bit of a bright light. You can definitely see the red on black foam. So this is what I recommend, guys, when you're working with black foam, is a good old red Sharpie. The Kershaw Sharpener, one of my favorite tools of all, because you resharpen your blades. Now what you do is when you go back and forth with this, how it sharpens, it does remove little bits of metal on your blade when you're going back and forth. Now, if you see your blade starting to curve over a period of time, it's because you're removing metal, and when it does that, definitely replace your blade. But also, periodically, this gets dark, so you want to clean this. So what I do, the same thing you do to lubricate it, put a little WD-40 on it, take a paper towel, and wipe it off. As you guys can see how bright and clean it is. This is all like metal shavings and stuff, and after a while it will kind of make it less effective. So periodically when you guys are having your sharpener in between things, take a little WD-40, wet your the sharpened edge, and just clean it off with WD-40. And I'll get it all cleaned up, which will make your blade sharpen a lot faster and a lot easier. Before I start gluing my parts together with my glue pot, I like to have a cup full of small scrap foam pieces. This comes in really handy when spreading out your glue on your foam. It's just good to have these same by. Well, that concludes how to clean your critter gun, another tool of maintenance. Once again, this video was sponsored by Barge Cement, the best contact adhesive for your foam fabricating cosplay needs. If this is your first time watching me, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. As a matter of fact, while you're here right now, go to my website, eviltedsmith.com, and get on my mailing list. As a matter of fact, while you're there, you can go to my store where I have patterns for sale and I have supply list. The more shopping you guys do through my site goes to Amazon and helps me keep making videos. I just recently set up fan funding here on YouTube. So what little you guys can donate, I'm thinking about the 60,000 subscribers I have, if not more out there. If each one of you guys donate $2 or $3, that'd be great. It could set me up for a year. I could stay in my shop and keep making videos. Oh, I just recently set up Twitch TV, and you can watch me live Mondays and Tuesdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Times. And while I'm streaming, you guys can ask me questions and I answer them to you live. If this is your first time watching me, I have other videos and tips and techniques right here. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you back next time right here on the Evil Ted channel.